The Hags lore is kind of all over the place, according to another YouTuber named NotJoJoKaiser who goes more in depth in the Hags lore. She seems like a killer behavior had all the right ideas for, but rather than thinking of a good and interesting story to tell, they instead just mashed the lore bits they made and threw it in as the killer's story. None of the themes match the base look of the Hag, and none of the themes about cannibalism make sense in her lore either. She seems like a product of not knowing which story to choose, so they went with what sounded right to them at the time. Welcome to Fixing the Killers, the series where I take a look at certain killers I think failed in their designs and try to fix it the best way I can. The Hags lore is really bad in more ways than one, with no redeeming quality of it. The lore is all over the place, and the part where Hag gets kidnapped by cannibals is honestly what really drove me away from the character. Everyone agrees with the theory that Hag has an eternal hunger and the entity is constantly starving her to work for it in the trials. However, nowhere in the lore does it state that she has a hunger for humans, but rather a hunger for revenge. Plus, Lisa, who is the Hag, doesn't really do anything in her lore, and instead is just there watching everything unfold. But her friend Pam is better suited for a killer because of her sociopathic attitude to everything, showing Lisa a dead body of a young girl at their school and making fun of their dead teacher who was overweight at his funeral. But for the sake of the story, we're going to remove Pam outright due to her not really serving a purpose other than proving to Lisa that the spells are bad. With Lisa, on the other hand, I'm going to age her up incredibly from 18 to 50 to match with how witches are portrayed in fiction. I'm also going to remove the cannibals kidnapping her and instead make her already aware of the hexes and make Lisa's grandmother a cannibal, so it makes sense for why Lisa is a cannibal too. Then, to add to the theory of the endless hunger, I'm going to make the Hag create a spell that backfires horribly and curses her to crave human meat even more than she already does, and digest it faster than before. That way the Mori animation makes more sense. Finally, I'm going to change the way the entity takes her, so rather than taking her before she dies in the cannibal camp, I'm instead going to have the Hag kill her entire village due to the hunger and strike a deal with the entity to have her feast endlessly on humans for a price. Desperate, she takes it, and not only has she become the Hag, she has to deal with that same hunger pains just cranked up to 1,000,000. With that being said, I think the rest of her character is fine, all things considering. It seems a lot more fleshed out, and instead of just being a victim of circumstance, she seems like an actual character with a clear goal. Well, that's going to be it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and hey, if you liked this video, be sure to hit the like button down below, and hey, if you're new here, why don't you hit the subscribe button and never miss a video from me again. Stay awesome, guys.